All right, everybody, it is Nicole from Mind Body Pilates, and today I had a 20-minute Pilates workout for specifically neck and back pain to keep our bodies safe. We're going to start with some breathing. So you're going to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And we're just keeping our feet planted, hip distance apart, and our pelvis is staying in neutral. We're breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. When you breathe in, try to breathe into the sides of the rib cage, expanding outward to keep the abdominals flat. And as you exhale, we're going to gently engage the pelvic floor, tightening the muscles up and in toward the belly button, and then pulling the belly button down to the spine. Breathing in through the nose and exhaling, tightening those deep core stabilizers as you exhale. Inhale into the sides of the ribs and exhale and tightening. Good. We're going to try to keep that pelvis in neutral, meaning you're not tucking your pelvis and you're trying not to let your back arch away from the mat. We're going to go into some single knee fall out. So you're going to take an inhale to prepare. On your exhale, you're going to tighten your core as you lower your left knee out to the side. Inhale, bring it back to center. We're going to exhale to lower. Inhale back to center. That's 2. We're aiming for 8 repetitions here. As your knees falling out to the side, you're making sure that your pelvis is staying stable. You don't want to rotate your pelvis toward that knee that's moving out. Think about digging your right heel into the floor and keeping your right glute down on the floor. If you imagine you have a cup of tea sitting on your pelvis, you don't want your teacup to spill. Let's do one more. Exhaling to move the knee out. Inhaling to return. Let's go right into the right side. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lower that right knee out. Inhale to return. Exhale to lower. Inhale to return. As I exhale, I really focus on pulling my abdominals tight. I feel my ribs cinching down towards my pelvis, keeping that belly button tight. I imagine I'm tightening up a jacket around my waist, feeling that tension in the muscles pull my waist tight. Or I like to think of exhaling and tightening up a zipper. If I had to zip up my abdominal muscles, I'm zipping from bottom all the way to the top, like a high-waisted pair of jeans. Let's do one more fall out. Exhale. Inhale to return. Let's take it to upper body. We're going to raise the arms up. We're keeping our head and neck down for everything today just to keep our spine stable. We're going to take an inhale to prepare. As you exhale, you're going to lower one arm down to the side. Inhale to return. Let's stay on that same arm for 5 repetitions. Exhaling as you lower, keeping that rib cage pulled down towards your pelvis so you're not rotating that upper body open as that arm lowers down. Let's go one more here. Exhale to open, inhale to return, and we're going to switch to the other arm. Exhaling to lower, inhale to return, and we have 4. Keeping your abdominals tight for 3. Inhale, return. Exhale, lower. Inhale to return. Last 2 and 1. Let's alternate. We're going to lower the left on an exhale. Inhale, return. Lower the right. Our head and our neck are staying still. You should not be turning your head as your arms lower and lift. Keep alternating for 2 more. Exhale to lower, inhale to lift. Pick a spot on your ceiling and glue your eyes to that spot. Make sure that you're not tucking your chin all the way down into your chest. It's just in a nice, relaxed position, trying to keep tension out of your neck and shoulders. Let's pause here. Keep those arms raised to the ceiling. Adjust your shoulders so that you don't feel like your shoulder blades are tied up into your head and neck. They're nice and relaxed at your sides. We're going to take an inhale to prepare, and on your exhale, you're going to reach your fingertips to the ceiling. Inhale and return those shoulder blades. We're reaching on an exhale. Inhale to return. Exhale, reach. Inhale, return. Let's exhale to reach. Inhale, return. Exhale, reach. Every time you exhale, you're tightening that pelvic floor and pulling that tension right up under your belly button. Your abs should be turning on and off with every movement. Let's do one more. Exhale, abs tighten, reach. Inhale to return. Let's do one more arm movement here. On your exhale, you're going to take one arm overhead. Inhale, return. Exhale, reach. Opposite arm overhead and return. We're alternating here. Every time you reach that arm overhead, I want you to be really mindful that you're not letting your ribs pop open and arching your back. You're keeping those shoulder blades stable on the floor, keeping that rib connection to your pelvis. Using your exhale to reach overhead. Feel those ribs cinch down as you exhale. Abs are tightening. And exhale, reach. Inhale, return. Shoulders are out of our ears. We have 2. Exhale, reach. One more on each arm. Exhale, reach. Inhale, return. And exhale, reach. Good. We're almost done with the arms. Always take a break if you need one. We're going to take an inhale, prepare. You're going to exhale. We're going to reach both arms over the head. Inhale, return. This is harder because when we're reaching both arms over the head, we want to try not to let our upper body arch away from the mat. That's where that abdominal work is going to be really important here. Exhale, tighten those abs as you reach overhead. Inhale, bring those arms back to the ceiling. Exhale, reach. Inhale, return. Exhale, reach. Inhale, return. Exhale, reach. Good. Let's bring arms down to the side. And we're going to start going into some marching with our legs. So we're going to make sure that our pelvis is staying in neutral. We're not over tucking, and we're trying not to let our back arch. We're going to take an inhale to prepare. On your exhale, let's reach one leg in a 90-90 called tabletop. And then we're going to tap that foot back down. We're going to inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Continue for 6 more. Exhale, keeping that pelvis stable. Again, imagining we have a teacup right on our pelvis. We don't want it to spill. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Head and neck are still staying stable. Inhale, lift. One more. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. And control that lower to switch our legs. We're going to take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift to tabletop. Take an inhale here, and we're going to exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Again, every exhale, tightening those abs as I lower that leg. Try to keep that belly button flat, pull down into your spine. Slow and controlled movement. Even if you've been doing Pilates for years, it's really good to go back to the basics. Make sure that you're using all those small stabilizers to prevent injury, whether you're doing high-level Pilates, weightlifting, HIIT training, cardio work, or just day-to-day activities. Good, let's rest. We want to have a strong core as the foundation of everything we do in our day-to-day life. All right, if you're having back pain and this is too hard for you, we're going to modify into an alternating march, which is this here. Let's do it. We're going to inhale, prepare. We're going to bring one leg to tabletop. Exhale, lower. Inhale, prepare. You're going to exhale, switch legs, lower and lift. Inhale, exhale, lift and lower. And inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift and lower. Keep on that pace. If you want to try something more advanced, we're going to bring both legs into tabletop and we're going to exhale, tap and lift and exhale, tap and lift. Exhale, tap and lift. Exhale, tap and lift. Let's get two more. Tap and lift. Exhale, tap and lift. Exhale, tap and lift. Exhale, tap and lift and rest. Bringing both legs back down to plant. We're going to move into a single leg stretch on the right leg only. We're going to lift right leg to tabletop. Your left leg will stay planted. You're going to take an inhale to prepare. On your exhale, you're going to lengthen that leg out onto a diagonal. Inhale to return. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, return. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, return. Cinching the ribs. Think about knitting those ribs together like a basket as you lengthen that leg out and pulling it back in. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, return. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, return. Let's do one more. Exhale, lengthen. And inhale, return. If you're coming back to this video a second time and you want to mod up, you can always leave one leg in tabletop, bring the other leg up, exhale, lengthen, and return. Let's work the left leg. We're going to exhale, lengthen, and return. So that right leg is either staying in tabletop, or if you're a beginner and that's too painful, we're going to keep that right leg planted. Exhale, lengthening the left. Inhale, return. Exhale, knit those ribs together, protecting your back. Inhale, return. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, return. If you're finding it difficult and you're lengthening that leg and arching your back, you're dropping your foot too low. Reach that foot a little higher, and that'll make it slightly easier on your back if you're finding you're having trouble with this. Let's do two more. Lengthen. Inhale, return. Exhale, lengthen, and inhale, return. Good work. Let's go to our side. We're going to do some side work for our booty and for our shoulder blades. So we're going to lay supporting our head and neck with our arm. And you want to keep your spine straight here. So think about lengthening your spine along your mat. And you shouldn't be just letting your abs fall down lazily. You should be lifting, cinching those obliques up and in, having a little bit of a mouse hole here. Think about a little bit of space here. Your top arm can stabilize here, or if you're a little more advanced or you want more of a challenge, you can rest your hand here on your hip. We're going to keep feet together. On your exhale, you're going to lift that top knee up. Inhale to lower, and we're clamming. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Let's get 5 and 4. Pelvis is staying square. 3. I'm not rotating my hips back as I open. And we've got 2 and 1. Good. Let's take that leg long. Abs are pulled in tight. We're going to exhale. We're going to lift and lower. That bottom knee can stay bent for stability. We have 6 more. Pointing the toe, making that leg nice and long. Inhale to lower. Exhale, think about reaching long. Inhale to lower. Exhale, reach and lower. Let's get 4. Exhale for 3 and 2 and 1. Let's hold it here. If you're not feeling it right here in your booty, try turning your hips forward slightly and getting that leg back. And we're still holding for 5, 4, abs are in, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Bring those knees back together, and we're going to do a little arm work here. I want you to reach that top arm forward. Abs are still pulled in. Shoulder is out of your ear. It shouldn't be up like this. We're going to inhale, prepare. We're going to exhale, and we're going to reach to the ceiling. Inhale, lower. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lower. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lower. And let's go 4 and 3 and 2. Abs are tight. And 1. And lower that arm back down. Let's bring elbow down to the side here. And we're going to rotate that hand up and lower. Exhale, rotate and lower. Shoulders staying out of your ear. We're working the rotator cuff and the shoulder blades here. Great for posture. Exhale, reach. And we've got 4. Exhale, lift for 2. And 1. I think I lost count there. That's okay. Do an extra one if you want to. Let's flip over to our other side. And we're going to get the other leg and the other arm. All right, so we're going to start with those clams. Waist is pulled up and in. And we're going to tighten the core. Exhale, lift the knee and lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And we have 5 and 4. Everything's tight. 3. Not rotating that pelvis. Last 1. Good. Lengthening that leg long. I need a little more space here. We're going to exhale. We're going to lift and lower. Exhale, lift and lower. Keeping that belly button pulled in tight. That leg is long behind us. Exhale, lift. Shoulder out of your ear. And reach. Exhale, reach. Let's get 3. Exhale for 2. Exhale and hold it here. This is a good time to practice. Are you feeling it in your booty? Rotate that hip, pelvis forward if you need to. Reaching that leg long behind you. Belly button, obliques pulling up and in. Shoulder out of your ear. We're strong, holding for 3, 2, and 1. And bring that leg back in. Great job. Okay, let's go into some arm work here. We're going to reach that arm forward. Abs pulled in. Everything is nice and stable. We're going to inhale, prepare. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lower. And we have 7. Shoulder out of your ear. Think about squeezing that shoulder blade as you lift your arm. Exhale, reach. Abs are in. And we have 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good. Bring that elbow onto your side, and you're going to exhale. You're going to rotate that hand to the ceiling. Inhale, lower. Abs are pulled in. Shoulders are back and down. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And we have 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good. Let's do one more exercise and then we'll cool it down. We're going to go on to hands and knees. And we are going to extend our right leg behind us. If it's hard to be on your wrists, you can come up onto your knuckles, or if you have some hand weights, you can also use those. Another modification, you can go onto your elbows. That'll work too. I'll show this modification first. You're going to lengthen your leg behind you, and you're going to exhale. We're going to lift, reaching that leg out straight behind us. If you're on hands and knees, we're here. Shoulders are right under, or I'm sorry, hands under shoulders, knees right under your hips. Checking my form. Good. And you're going to exhale. You're going to lift and lower. Think about reaching that leg long. You don't want to arch your back here. Your back is staying flat and your hips are staying square. Imagine if you have headlights on your pelvis, they are shining straight down on the mat in front of you and they are not rotating open. Let's do 2 more lifts. And exhale, lift. Let's hold it here. Reach that leg long. And we're holding, relaxing your shoulders out of your ears. And we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. We're going to switch legs. Take a little shake out if you need it. And we're going to go left leg back. I'm looking right down at my mat, just above my fingertips and right in the center, so that I'm trying to keep my neck in a neutral position here as I exhale, lifting that leg, inhale to lower. You want your spine in neutral all the way from the top of your head through your tailbone, especially if you have neck and back pain. Staying in neutral is usually better. You want to make sure you're not overarching your back. You're not tucking your chin too far down. You shouldn't be looking out in front of you. You're looking right down at the mat. Let's do 3 more lifts. Exhale, lift. Exhale, lift. Exhale, lift and hold. And we're holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. You can take your knees wide and sit your hips back into a child's pose here. And just let that back stretch out. If anything is painful, you're going to skip it. We do not need to risk any injuries. Let's take it onto our back. We'll do a nice piriformis stretch, which is always nice. The piriformis can get so tight. So you're going to cross one leg over, one ankle over your opposite knee, and then you're going to pull that knee to chest. So the piriformis is the muscle right here. It's a hip rotator. Sometimes it can get tight and squeeze the sciatic nerve, which can cause pain down the leg. So to stretch this muscle out is usually pretty helpful for most people with back issues. We're going to take one more good inhale here through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And then we're going to switch our legs. If you find it hard to do this stretch in this position, you can always sit in a chair and cross your foot over your knee, or you could even grab a towel if you're having a hard time reaching your hands behind your thigh and use a towel to loop around your knee and pull. You don't want to be gripping through your head and neck here, trying to pull that knee in, especially if you have neck pain. That's going to strain, and we don't want that either. All right, I think that was good for today. I hope you enjoyed this quick 20-minute workout for neck and back pain. If you found this workout beneficial or useful, and you want to share with somebody else who you think would benefit from it, I would appreciate it. I would love for you to leave in the comments what you thought of today's workout, and if there's anything you want to see in the future, please let me know, and I'm happy to share. I hope you all have a great day.